3 left. Myers has it. He blows right by. Gets to the three-point line. Gives it off to Miguel Arnold. Rises and fires. Miguel!
Welcome to the Dip Mitras Show. I'm Chad Cook, your host. The star, of course, is Dip Mitras, 19-year head coach of Augusta University. The Jaguars are coming down the stretch run of the Peach Belt Conference race. Augusta's 20-5 overall, 11-4 in Peach Belt Conference play, 1 game behind North Georgia with 3 losses, tied with USC Aiken with 4 losses as well, 1 game ahead of Lander, who's in the 4th spot. And those 2 teams, USC Aiken and Lander, have been, in our path in the last week. So since our last show, Coach, we've played 3 games, lost 2 of them, 1 at Lander, 9 days ago at Lander. We came home Saturday, had played in front of a huge crowd, 2,300 fans, had a huge win, a blowout victory over Young Harris, an important win. And then last night, we're taping this Thursday morning. Last night, USC Aiken, our arch rival, came in and handed us a defeat. So we're taping this after kind of the raw emotions of a game like that. Let's just start by getting your view on things.
Oh, we played 3 teams in basically a week and some change. All 3 are probably NCAA tournament teams. Our league is very strong. Each one of them gives us different issues. We were able to handle Young Harris's issues, and we weren't able to with Lander and Aiken. So got a lot to learn, and what I'll tell my team today in practice is, I don't want to jump the gun, but hopefully we're making the NCAA tournament, okay? So the way I look at it, we have like 13 to 15 practices before we play in the NCAA tournament, along with some games, 3 regular season games, and who knows how many in the Peach Belt. So it gives us opportunity to get better. We've got to tweak some things. We've got to get better at some things, and it'll be a challenge, but we'll be fine.
Yeah, you mentioned teams throwing different things at you and how, you handled the Young Harris wrinkle with I guess you would say ease or perfection or whatever. Now, the other 2, Lander, I'm struck by they made 9 threes in the first half, 14 in the game. And then last night against Aiken, the Pacers only attempted 13 threes. Yep. So 2 different styles there. Would you say, you talk about the practices and what you're going to be working on, is it heavy defensive or a little bit of both?
A combination of both. Defensively, obviously some concerns. Our defensive field goal percentage has been bad in those 2 losses, or actually all 4 of our losses. So we've got always have defense issues. Offensively, we've got to instill some confidence in some guys. We've got to put them in a little better position to be successful. And, they got to take the brunt of it a little bit and be willing to take shots. And it's easy to take shots when the popcorn's not popping, and it's easy to take shots when you're up 12. So we've got to get some guys going. We're relying way too much on Tyshaun and Miguel right now, and hopefully some guys will step up this last part of the season.
You mentioned Tyshaun and Miguel. Last 4 games, see if I can do this by memory. Tyshaun Crawford, the big 7'1" senior center, he had 35 points in a what would that be? A win over Georgia College 2 Saturdays ago. 22 against Lander. Came back with 31 against Young Harris, and then he had 16 last night, had to sit a good portion of the first half with foul trouble, had 13 of his 16 points in the second half. And then Miguel Arnold, in the last 2 games combined, he scored 60 points, 23 against Young Harris on 10 of 14 shooting, and 37 last night against USC Aiken, made 6 of his 10 threes. Before we get to some of the other stuff, if I just kind of focus on Miguel for a second, when I'm watching him play last night and Tyshaun's on the bench and he's keeping us in the game in that first half, yes. I had the thought, I was like, and you know how highly I think of Keyshawn Sherrill, a legendary Augusta University basketball player. But at that moment, I said to myself, he's playing better than Keyshawn used to play. He's really playing at a high level.
Really is. He's diversified his game. He's driving the ball a lot more. He's getting to the free throw more. He's been really good. He's been an all-league player. He's never been an all-league player in our league. He spent a lot of time in the gym, and he wants to win. All our guys want to win, but he's really putting forth the effort. He's definitely not afraid. Last night, we were down like 10 or 9. He took a bad 3 on the break. He's like, Coach, my bad. And then he took another one. We were running something that wasn't kind of what we were wanting. But I can't fault his effort. And And he's been good defensively, in an area where he's not real strong.
He had 4 steals last night.
Yeah, 4 steals. He hasn't gotten beat off a dribble. Now, his matchups usually are such that he's guarding a shooter. But as good as he's been offensively, he's been really good defensively. He takes care of the ball. And, he's trying to will us to some wins. And it's nice to have him in our backcourt. And hopefully everybody else will kind of follow suit. Yeah,
you mentioned Miguel being solid defensively to go along with the offense. And, I was trying to think about last night, USC Aiken, it's got to be the high mark for the year, 95 points
absolutely.
For an opponent. I think back to the West Georgia scrimmage. I want to say maybe they scored 90 points in that game. So you think about our players and how good they are individually defensively. And then if Miguel's holding his own, have you been able to spot what might have happened last night when it comes to I guess it's Horn's an all league player. Two of the past 3 weeks he's been player of the week in the Peach Belt. Tyree Horn, he scores 29 points. So but Jalen McCoy scores 28 to go along with that. It seemed like a lot of 3-man weave and then isolation stuff. Is that
one of the problems we made, we probably, I'll take part of the blame for it. We didn't think McCoy could beat us by himself. We doubled him a little bit, but he hurt us. We couldn't guard his matchup. And it was a matchup we didn't think would hurt us as much, but he was really good. He got some key offensive rebounds. He got a key one time against the zone. Played with great energy. When you get guys going, they're going to play a little better. So that's something we'll have to evaluate the next time we play them. He only had 6 points the first time. They made some crucial threes. So, more credit to them. And like I said, we've got time. It's running down, but we go to Flagler on Saturday, who we lost to early in the year, and we just need to play well. We need to kind of put it all together. And one thing I've learned, man, is a lot of basketball left, and I don't think people realize we lose, but other teams lose. North Georgia is probably the only one that hasn't suffered a quote bad loss. They've lost to us, they've lost to Aiken. So they've lost to the people that are kind of right up there with them, Lander. So that gives them an advantage, but they still have 3 left to play, and they've been winning games by 2 points. So hopefully we'll keep getting better and close out this year the right way.
Yeah, you're right. Like you said, when it comes to like a Jalen McCoy or whatever, you reevaluate that when the time comes if Aiken ever gets in front of you again. So speaking of what's ahead, you go on the road for 2 games. You got Flagler, who was able to beat us at our place, and then you've got North Georgia, the league leader, at their place. Do you think going on the road could be, in a sense, what the doctor ordered?
Yeah, hopefully it's a catalyst.
You come together. Yes. It's you and the guys, basically. Yes. There's not going to be there is a fan bus coming, which is great, to Flagler Saturday. But, you get away from home and kind of come together as a group.
Well, we want to put ourselves in position to win the next game, and Flagler's the next game. If you win the Flagler game, then you're staring at the team that's in first place, right ahead of you with 1 loss. Right now we're 1 loss behind them, and we've already beat them once. So if you beat them twice, you have the tiebreaker. Right now, Aiken's got the tiebreaker on us. So, like I said, a lot of basketball left. I remember one year, can't remember where, we were down at Georgia Southwestern. We won the last regular season game, and I don't know if it was pre-cell phone era, and we got on the bus, and somebody had lost a game for us to win the regular season title. So, strange things happened the last game of the year, and but our focus really should be on getting better and getting some guys more comfortable on the court.
Do you want to go into any detail with that? When you say instill some confidence, getting guys comfortable on the court?
Yeah, we've got to show some film to some guys and show them where they're passing up opportunities to shoot. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond. And we can't rely on 2 guys to score so much. And, Tyree didn't have a good game last night, but he'll bounce back. Chris was really good. Chris is very confident when he gets on the court. He's looking for a shot when he's open. He had a big 3 last night that rimmed out, an inside-out pass that Darren threw to him. That one, the score was tied, I think. But like I said, he's been really good. He practices really hard. And, I talked to my assistant this morning about it. Maybe we have to change how we're doing practice, make it a little more competitive. Like I said, there's only a handful of practices left, and we're not looking past the Peach Belt tournament. We got to look big picture. Like, okay, can we get some of these issues fixed before we play these teams, but more importantly, before we play the NCAA tournament? Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. It's been captivating these last 3 weeks. I guess we'll end on that. In my mind, this all kind of started about, when I say this, what I mean is captivating conference play. You know, we started 6-0. I think we were a couple games in front of the nearest team. And then, you know, we dropped the game at Flagler and dropped a game versus Flagler, and then won against USC Aiken. And from that moment on, it's been just basically like playoff basketball, postseason basketball for more than 3 weeks now. That just will continue on. And, you know, you really couldn't ask for anything better than to be in the heat of a race in a college basketball season.
Yeah, I mean, the regional polls came out the other day, and they're alphabetical, but I want to say, you know, 5 of the 10 teams are in our league, and realistically, in talking to some people, it's really 5 of the top 8 teams in the region right now. 10 and 9 aren't Peach Belt teams. They're all, you know, so 5 of the teams are Peach Belt teams. So, you know, it hardens you up for the postseason, and you know, I think it's going to be a situation when we get in postseason play, you're going to see somebody for the 3rd or 4th time, and along with the people in the other league. And but like I said, our focus is let's just try to get better, try to get some guys more comfortable, and put ourselves in a position to advance in the NCAA tournament. You
said earlier, you know, we lose. We're 20-5, 20 wins, 5 losses is a heck of a record. You know, so we lose a game here and there. Other teams lose a game. Case in point, Tennessee beat Alabama last night after losing. Tennessee's number 10 in the country. They had been as high as, I think, 2. They lose 2 games last week, one against Vanderbilt and another at home against Missouri. They come back, knock off the number 1 team in the country, Alabama. So college basketball just is.
There's a lot of inconsistency. You know, I listened to Coach Brian's show with you, but the three-point line changed a lot of things. Some teams win some games that maybe shouldn't win them, but the ability to make shots. You know, teams are taking 33-pointers a game. You know, it's hard, you know. So like I said, you just got to be consistent with what you do, and hopefully your strengths are better than the other team's weaknesses.
Yep. So, you know, follow the Jaguars through the end of this regular season. They play 3:30 p.m. at Flagler Saturday. There's a fan bus going. If you want to contact somebody, contact me, contact Coach Mitras. There's a fan bus going to Florida, St. Augustine, Florida, 3:30 p.m. Saturday against Flagler. Then the Jaguars will take off to North Georgia next Wednesday for a 7:30 p.m. game, and then they'll return home for the regular season finale against Clayton State, 3:30 p.m. Saturday, February 25th. That's a homecoming game. You know, that will end the regular season. Then, depending on how all that goes with all the different teams in the league and our team, somebody will host, the regular season champion will host the Peach Belt Conference Tournament March 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. And then the Jaguars will most likely be off to the NCAA tournament after that. So it's just like I said, a captivating college basketball season locally, and to go along with the national scene that you see every night on ESPN and Fox Sports and stuff like that. So, you know, good luck to the Jaguars. You can follow them at AugustaJags.com or at Augusta Jags on social media. Thanks to Get Up Productions for producing the podcast. That's GetUpProductions.com or at GetUp.Productions on Instagram. You know, don't miss out on the end of this season, this wonderful college basketball action.